Please. My name is David Jones. I'm with the radio station, and we'll be doing a telecast here. I'll give you some details in just a second. This is our 61st year broadcasting this event. Broadcasting via the internet, and I'm going to give you some details on that. I am not exactly sure how many years I've been doing it, but it's well over 50. Our first broadcast was in January 1964. So this is their 61st year. And time doesn't march on, and I'm keenly aware of that. When I was here in 1971 for my first broadcast, there was a lot of World War II veterans, and things have changed. I was up talking with Ty Bowers, and when I came down off the stage, I looked over here and I see a young man, and I go, who is this guy? Well, he looked at me, and he knew who I was, and I shook his hands and didn't see him, and I go, who the hell is this guy? And I started walking back, and I go, oh my God, it's Doug Wilson Jr. Now, Doug, stand over this a second. I can be forgiven. Last time I saw Doug, we were all in the park, and he was 12 years old and playing Little League Baseball, and I was in part of the game. And his dad was coach, right?
He probably was.
Yeah, he was coach. Yep. And when we honored his dad later on as a past commander, former mayor of the city of Bucyrus, more important than that, he was a coach at Bucyrus Little League. So, Doug, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Doug.
And he didn't have that gray hair.
No.
Baseball. Also, I'd like to recognize my wife, Jo. And I'd like to thank everybody here. There were so many of you that came up. Remember to bring Joni. Remember to bring Joni. Okay, I'll bring. We don't give a damn if you come here. Joni. You want her to be here. Okay, so thank you very much for having us. Last year, I recognized several employees, former employees of the radio station, and I recognized Linda Durchie, and I recognized Karen Weir. I completely left out Tammy Tina. Tammy did not work. You remember that, man? Well, she sure remembered because she came up and gave me help for later. She's pretty good at that. Tammy was a former employee at the radio station a number of years ago, and one of the things you need to know about Tammy, and I'm not kidding about this, Tammy was the first woman to do play-by-play sports, not only at our station, but in the entire state of Ohio. Yeah. And she was I'm going to tell you our telecast here tonight. I am on-air talent only. I know nothing about engineering. There's two types of engineering. There's Davy Jones engineering, and good luck getting on the air and use me. This is John Cryer. John is our engineer. He is my engineer and producer of Homework. How many years, John? Yeah, he took over for Jim Hahn for a while. And impressive. He's been on with me on full board, will be on again this fall. And break my arm, pat myself on the back. This is Friday, the Friday phone board this year. This will be my 50th year. And John has been, I'm going to guess, a good 10 years on with me on the show. John, help me out a little bit. We're doing a telecast. We used to do this live on the radio. We've got a country radio station, and people who like their Johnny Cash and Tom T. Hall get a little upset when we break that format. So we do this via TV and telecasting. And John, how can they hit it? We're doing this tape delayed. Or John, how can they find us?
It'll be on WQEL's podcast page on the website, and then it'll be on all our Facebooks, Crawford County Now, WQEL, Country License, and WCL, will be on all of them as well.
We had quite a few hits on it last year, so thank you for any of you that was watching it again. But we did have quite a few hits on it last year, and you can measure it when we do it this way. So, you good to go, buddy?
I'm good.
All right, are you good to go? All right, John, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everyone. This is Davy Jones from the Colonel Crawford Post of the American Legion downtown Bucyrus, where tonight, for the 61st straight year, we will be honoring the past commanders of our local Colonel Crawford Post 181, including our immediate past commander, Ken Long, our Broadcast coverage is brought to you in part by Adam Weisner at Advanced Fiber Technology. Martin Bernhardt, Mike's Roofing and Heating, Phone Bucyrus, 562-5752. Jim and Jerry Letter, Jim Letter's Body Shop. The Kimmerline family at Bucyrus Wood Materials since 1939, and Kingston Residents of Marion. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your master of ceremonies, Ty Bowers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Davey. It's not my gavel right now. Now we're going to go ahead and bring this back to order, and we're going to start off by introducing the post officers. Commander Alan Young. Immediate past commander Ken Long. First vice commander myself, Ty Bowers. Second vice commander Ken Long. Our post adjutant, David Robertson. Our finance officer, Denny Tyner. Our post chaplain, Tony Mikulak. And our sergeant at arms, James Camphouse, is not able to be with us tonight. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Tammy Tima Burke to introduce her auxiliary officers.
Oh, they spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. First Vice President is Karen Weir. She couldn't be with us tonight. Second Vice President, Penny Tarbert. Secretary, Alice Tyner. I lost her. Treasurer is Sonia Biglin. She couldn't be with us tonight. She's at another job. She teaches dancing. Chaplain, Sue Harley. And Sergeant of Arms, Sue Adams.
And I'll bring Commander Alan Young up to introduce the Sons of the American Legion officers.
I'm going to introduce the Sons officers. Commander Ron Lambert couldn't be here tonight, so I'm filling in for him. But Commander Ron Lambert couldn't be here. First Vice Commander Bernie Kessler. Second Vice Commander Ryan Bloomfield. Adjutant Bernie Kessler. Finance Officer Dr. Bob Cox. Chaplain Kyle Bryant. Sergeant at Arms Regis Jones. And Advisor David Robertson.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, I'd like to run through just a couple thank yous. First to Davy Jones and John Kreider from WBCO, WQEL. Thank you for being here and supporting us with your broadcasting again this year. We would also like to thank the team from Catering Country Style for the wonderful dinner. Was everybody pleased? They never disappoint. Thank you, ladies. I would also like to give a quick shout out and thank you to Quality Printing, who donated the printing of our programs tonight. And also for the Bucyrus Copper Kettle Works for their support of our program tonight as well. Now I'd also like to recognize some distinguished guests that are with us tonight. Mayor of Bucyrus, Bruce Truca. the past Department of Ohio Commander, Charles Stennis. Our 5th District Commander, Robert Mason, and his wife Teresa. Department of Ohio Historian and past 5th District Commander, Al Beyer. Our 5th District Judge Advocate and also past District Commander, Dennis Tyner. 5th District Chaplain, myself, Ty Bowers, and my wife, Stacy. Department of Ohio Auxiliary President, Louise Smirk. Department of Ohio Auxiliary First Vice, Renee Coles. Past Department of Ohio Auxiliary President, Linda Close. Didn't make it? Okay, thank you. Okay, you're running the show next year, Al. Department of Ohio Auxiliary Historian, Dana Beyer. 5th District President, Nancy Longbrake. 5th District, past 5th District Auxiliary President, Jane Yeager. Past 5th District Auxiliary President, Alice Tyner. Past Sons of the American Legion Department Commander, Bernie Kessler, and his wife, Nancy. Our current 5th District Sons of the American Legion Commander, Tim Conway, and his wife, Becky. To everybody, thank you for joining us. Now, for everybody, thank you for joining us all tonight. We all have choices to make every day, and we are very appreciative to each of you for choosing to spend your time with us this evening. As we look around, it seems like our crowds are getting a little bit smaller. Like many of our other civic organizations, the American Legion is feeling the effects of the generational turning of the page. While most view this as a pain point, I see this as an opportunity to break away from the status quo, to try something new. One of the initiatives at both the national organization and starting at the Department of Ohio is organizing gaming events. Posts are starting to add gaming rooms for younger veterans. When deployed in downtime, it's not spent in the officers club or the enlisted club, kind of like when we were serving. They a lot of the time spend their time in the barracks connected online through a gaming console. This is a big culture change at every level. At first, most of us scoff at this and think, it's not for us. But you're right, it's not for us. It's for the younger generation we're trying to bring into our organization. It's the younger Legionnaires, not just bringing the Legionnaires in, but also their families. We have to meet them where they're at, not doing our thing and hoping they just tag along. So we can't get trapped in the mindset of we can't do it, we don't have the space, we don't have the funds. We have to do it. We have to figure out a way to do it. So we can't look at the barriers, we just have to look at them as obstacles and find a way to get around it. Because it's something we need to do if we're going to perpetuate our organization. We also need to continue being visible in our community. We have a great story to tell. We just need to share it. Let everyone know about the good things that we are doing every day in our community, for our veterans, for the children of the community. Personal testimony is still the best advertising tool out there. It doesn't cost much, just a little bit of time and ambition. Now, to wrap up my remarks, most of you know I like to add a little bit of culture, be it a historical quote or a poem of some kind. Well, this year I found an essay that was penned in 1955 by Otto Whittaker titled, "I Am the Nation." I felt it would be rather appropriate to share this evening. I am the nation. I was born on the 4th of July, 1776. The Declaration of Independence is my birth certificate. The bloodlines of the world run through my veins because I offer freedom to the oppressed. I am many things and many people. I am the nation. I am 213 million living souls and the ghost of millions who have lived and died for me. I am Nathan Hale and Paul Revere. I stood at Lexington and fired the shot heard round the world. I am Washington, Jefferson, and Patrick Henry. I am John Paul Jones, the Green Mountain Boys, and Davy Crockett. I am Lee and Grant and Abe Lincoln. I remember the Alamo, the Maine, and Pearl Harbor. When freedom called, I answered, and I stayed until it was over there. I left my heroic dead in Flanders Field, on the rock of Corregidor, and the bleak slopes of Korea. I am the Brooklyn Bridge, the wheat lands of Kansas, and the granite hills of Vermont. I am the cold fields of the Virginias and Pennsylvania, the fertile lands of the West, the Golden Gate, and the Grand Canyon. I am Independence Hall, the Monitor and the Merrimack. I am big. I sprawl from the Atlantic to the Pacific. My arms reach out to embrace Alaska and Hawaii. 3 million square miles, throbbing with industry. I am more than 5 million farms. I am forest, field, mountain, and desert. I am a quiet village in the city that never sleeps. You can look up at me and see Ben Franklin walking down the streets of Philadelphia with his bread loaf under his arm. You can see Betsy Ross with her needle. You can see the lights of Christmas and hear the strains of Auld Lang Syne as the calendar turns. I am Babe Ruth in the World Series. I am 100,000 schools and colleges and 330,000 churches where my people worship God as they think best. I am the ballot dropped in the box, the roar of the crowd in the stadium, and the voice of a choir in a cathedral. I am an editorial in a newspaper and a letter to a congressman. I am Eli Whitney and Stephen Foster. I am Tom Edison, Albert Einstein, and Billy Graham. I am Horace Greeley, Will Rogers, and the Wright brothers. I am George Washington Carver, Jonas Salk, and Martin Luther King. I am Longfellow, Harriet Beecher Stowe, Walt Whitman, and Thomas Paine. Yes, I am the nation, and these are the things that I am. I was conceived in freedom, and God willing, in freedom I will spend the rest of my days. May I possess with always the integrity, the courage, and the strength to keep myself unshackled, to remain a citadel of freedom and a beacon of hope to the world. The primary reason we come together again this evening is to honor and celebrate those who have gone before us, serving as commander or president of their respective branches of the organization. We also will take time to remember and honor our members who have passed along in the past year with a memorial service. We truly are an American Legion family here at this post, as each branch of that family complements and assists the others in all that we do. We depend and thrive on that cooperation to make Post 181 the active, vibrant post that it is, where all members can feel welcome. All right, our past commanders that we are honoring tonight. First is Ken Long. Ken has 21 years of Army service as a field artillery officer. His service was split between both enlisted and as a commissioned officer. He was the commander of the local National Guard Armory before transferring to the Army Reserves as an S3 operations officer for for the regional headquarters in Columbus, Ohio. Ken has been an active member of the American Legion Post 181 for 6 years and is also a 6-year member of the local Disabled American Veterans chapter and the president of our Memorial Day Committee. Ken has been married to his wife Terry for 46 years. In his words, he married up. Didn't we all? They have 1 daughter and 2 grandchildren. Please help me honoring Ken Long. Next, we have Tammy Tima Burke. Now, I told Tammy beforehand I had to kind of update her bio from last year's ceremony, so I took a little bit of artistic license with this. Tammy has run the post auxiliary chairs over the last few years to include second vice, first vice, and now wrapping up her second year, third, I apologize, her third consecutive year as president. Tammy has in the past described her baby at the Post is the Make and Bake auction. These are annual fundraisers that are always well attended and exceedingly successful and will benefit a different worthy cause each year. While she will be the first to share the credit and state that it is a team effort, it is in no small part to Tammy's energy and enthusiasm for the project. But as her baby has continued to grow, she has delivered again. Her new baby is the Wreaths Across America. Tammy spearheaded the effort to bring the program to Bucyrus. In his first year, had a great turnout, and the second year is already in the works with plans for expansion to more cemeteries. Tammy Tima Burke. Now, I am somewhat remiss in Ron Lambert, our SAL commander. I asked him for his bio, but he said he was not going to be able to attend tonight, so I do not have anything to read for Ron at this time. But anybody that knows Ron and his time here, he is the lifeblood of the Post. He is always ready to jump in, especially when it comes bratwurst time. Between him and canteen manager Wes Newman, they really make that whole program go. So special thanks to both of them. Wes, thank you. Your efforts are always appreciated. So let's hear it for Ron and Wes. All right, we're going to get into some of our guest speakers. First, I'd like to introduce past Department Commander Charles Stennis. Now, I also did a disclaimer to Charles beforehand. Since it's been a couple years since he's been the department commander, nobody really has a current bio because he's not really running for anything new. So I had to kind of rework his one from when he was running as the second vice commander of the department. So please feel free to correct me as I go. Charles M. Stennis Jr. was elected to serve as the 2021-22 term as the Department of Ohio's second vice commander on Sunday, July 11th, 2021.
All lies.
He was elected to the office of the department first vice commander the following year, but was elevated to the position of department commander after 66 days following the sudden death of the sitting department commander Bradley Ties. Where many people would hesitate when handed an unexpected challenge like this, I'm guessing Charles rolled up his sleeves and said, let's get to work. Charles is an 18-year paid-up-for-life member of the Brakeman King Post 336 and has earned his eligibility for the American Legion through his service in the United States Army from 1986 to 1991. Charles has served as Post Brakeman King in Painesville, Ohio, in several elected offices such as Commander, 2009 to 2018, First Vice Commander, 2007-2008, and is currently in his third year as the Post Finance Officer. So, fifth year now?
Yep, I'm the head embezzler.
He has served as the Lake County Commander and Chaplain and the Commander of the dynamic 9th District in 2012. Charles has served the Department of Ohio on several different committees as Assistant Department Chaplain and 2 years as the Department of Ohio Treasurer. Charles is currently employed, or he was 2 years ago, with the Henkel Corporation in Metro, Ohio?
Not anymore.
Okay. I get it. As a distribution manager, Charles.
Skip over that part.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay, blah, 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 blah. Charles is engaged in his community, serving on several nonprofit boards in Lake County. He is currently Vice President, past President, Lake County Metropolitan Housing Authority, which serves over 3,000 families in Lake County. Charles is also the President of Forbes House in Lake County, the only 24-hour domestic violence shelter. As Department Commander, his special project was raising funds to support the Judge Sarah J. Harper Village. It has 12 apartments to support female veterans in need of a helping hand. The facility prioritizes serving female veterans, including those with children and or those who have experienced military sexual trauma, along with veterans that are low income, formerly homeless, or about to experience homelessness. Charles has a bachelor's degree in accounting and an MBA in business administration from Cleveland State University. Charles has been married to Tammy, who is also a member of the Auxiliary Unit 336 for 35 years now, and resides in Concord, Ohio. They have one son, Brandon, a U.S. Army veteran who served in Afghanistan, 3 grandchildren, Grayson, Lalani, and Journey. Charles is a supporter of the programs of the American Legion, and moreover, he is a supporter of veterans. In everything he does, he seeks to put veterans first. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Stennis.
Oh, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. I'm a lazy bum. You know, I've been married 35 years, and this morning, as wife and I got to go our separate ways, and I told her, I said, you know, you used to call me the hottest man on the planet. She said, yeah, but now you're just a man. So she treats me well. 35 years, she still treats me well. Yes, she treats me well. She treats me well. Well, one thing, part of my project, this post, 181, made a donation to my project that year, and we raised a total of $40,000 for those ladies. I'm very proud of that, and I want to thank Post 181 for donating to that project. It went a long way. I was at the grand opening of that facility, and it was very good. It was very good. But before I get to my third close, I just want to stop by and talk about the little things. And especially when I was thinking of Post 181 coming here tonight, and I was in my bubble bath with my rubber ducky, it came across to my mind, but it's the little things why this day is so important, and past commanders and presidents and commanders of the Sons of the American Legion are celebrated. It is the little things that are such as service, the little things such as preparedness, the little things such as having a little bit of vision. The little things. You know, when you think of service as being the little things, what I think of especially as being a commander or as being a leader, because that's really what it is. It's really leadership. It's looking into somebody's life and actually seeing what they're in need of. I think we lack a little bit of that these days. We are slid more into an I, me generation, because I was talking to a couple other folks at work today, myself and I, and we got together and we were discussing, some of these things. Every now and then it doesn't take too much for us to pick up the phone and call someone to ask how they're doing. It doesn't take much to tell somebody who's having a bad day, you know what, it's going to get better. It doesn't take too much to buy maybe even somebody lunch. It doesn't take much at all. It's a little thing. It's a little thing. It's a little thing. And that's what I think we need to do a little bit more as a group. You know, and I know I've sat up at the department and we like to beat on posts. You know, you guys need to do this, you guys need to do that. But sometimes I used to sit back and think, you know what are we doing for them? I know when I was commander, I sent out a lot of personal cards, just thanking a lot of commanders, a lot of Lady Auxiliary presidents, and a lot of SAL commanders for what just they do. And I was hoping my predecessors would continue that, but I don't think that has happened. But it's the little things such as that that go a long way and will take our organization a little bit farther. Now, second thing I want to talk about real quick before I get into my fifth closing is preparedness. Preparedness is like pro wrestling and Congress voting on something. It's fixed. It is. It's fixed. You see, the more you prepare, the better you are at something. The least you prepare, the least you are very good at something. People will follow anybody who is very prepared. Anyone who's prepared. Now, he read my bio. I am actually right now the supply chain manager of Thermo Fisher Scientific in Oakwood, and I have logistics folks, I have buyers, I have all sorts of folks that work for me. Now, one of the things, of course, we all know that has happened of late, good old-fashioned tariffs. Good old-fashioned tariffs. 2 weeks ago, that was the hottest topic. I'm getting calls from as far as Australia, Italy, China, you name it, on the phone for 12 hours, going round and round and round and round. And you know what I did? And my troops saw me do it. I leaned back in my chair and said, we're not going to do a thing. We're just going to sit back and ride it out. Sit back and ride it out. My office door swung like a pendulum that day, back and forth, back and forth. What are we going to do? Nothing. What are we going to do? Nothing. What are we going to do? Nothing. Edict comes from corporate. All orders going to and from China are suspended. I look like a king because I told them the exact same thing. Because I was prepared. I understood what was going on that day. I understood that I'm not paying $13,000 for something that only costs $7,000. Come on, that's crazy. It really is. It's crazy. It is. It's nuts. So the more that you're prepared, the more easily folks will follow you. They will follow you. So it's a cascading thing. Serving somebody, being prepared for somebody that you're serving, and lastly, having the vision, having the understanding that you are no more important than the folks that you deal with around your circle. Now, if you understand that, you'll have the vision to see that as they go, I go. So as my wife goes to the jewelry store and buy jewelry, and I'm broke, I'll go further. But no, it's a combination of those other two things. One of the things, and I'm glad she's not here tonight. My wife doesn't have a birthday; she has a birth month. Yeah, she has a birth month. Has a birth month. So I have to look into her life as one. I have to serve her. 2, I got to be prepared, and 3, I got to have enough vision to know what she's going to like and what she's not going to like. So men, take heed of what's going on. Wives, please bump your husbands. But those three things are important. To you, to your family, to your post, to your community, to the state, to the nation, all of those things are important. Very important. This is how we're going to get from point A to point B. It is. It's very important. This Post 181 is an important part of this community. I can just tell. Not that I can just tell, I know. Not because there's a lot of prayer going on because you're right next to a church. But you're here. You're here. Like the gentleman said earlier, this is the 61st time that radio station has been here. And that is not by accident. That is not. Give yourselves a round of applause. That is not by accident. So that's by doing those same three things. Serving one another, being prepared for having a fantastic meal, and making sure that this thing continues on and on and on and on. I want to thank you, and God bless you.
I'll now invite Auxiliary President Tammy Tima Burke up to the podium so she can introduce the Department Auxiliary President, Louise Smirk. I was just giving everybody a break from my voice for a little while. Okay, Louise Smirk is a 45-plus year member of the American Legion Auxiliary. She is a member of Brook Park Unit 610. She is currently serving as the president of the American Legion Auxiliary Department of Ohio. Louise gained her eligibility from her father, Norm, who served during the Korean conflict. Her family has deep roots in the American Legion family. Her parents both served on a district level. Louise has served all the offices at the unit level and then served as the 13th District President from 2018 to 2022. Louise's theme for this year is Let's Embrace All Veterans Every Season. This is based from the leaves on the Tree of Life, which she carried over from her membership year theme, Growing from Our Roots. Louise enjoys spending her downtime with her companion Bruce, who is also the squadron commander at Post 610 and the 13th District 2nd Vice Commander. They love to travel and work around the house together and spend time with their new granddaughter. Louise?
Thank you so much. Charles is a tough act to follow. Because he took some of my thunder, my special project this year follows from Charles. It is Judge Sarah J. Harper's Village. We want to build her a shed or storage area so that they can house grilling tools or grills, patio furniture. The women would love raised flower beds to have vegetable gardens or flowers around. So we are doing our fundraising to do that as well. I'm going there next week to visit and to see where we can build this. I'm reaching out to several organizations such as Home Depot and Lowe's. They dote on how they help veterans, so I want to see if they'll help us. I also know that we are going after a grant from the ALA Foundation to match our donations so that money can go further. So we want to make a difference in that female veteran's life. And when you talk about getting our youth involved, yes, I have a brand new granddaughter. She's a miracle. She was born November 20th at 25 weeks. 1 pound, 12 ounces. Just last Friday, she weighs in at 10 pounds, 9 ounces. And truly a miracle in our life. She is an auxiliary member as well. So she attended her first meeting last week in her stroller, sound asleep. But anyway, I thank you so much. You do amazing things here. This is my third event recognizing membership, recognizing our pasts. I went to the 1st District, I went to the Continental Unit, and I was at another one, and I can't remember which one. We travel so much when you're in this position, but it's nice to see that. My own unit doesn't do this any longer, and I wish they would. It's nice to get that pin that shows you you've been a member for 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, I'm almost coming up on 50, and there's 10 years in there that I stopped when my dad died. But with that being said, we need our youth. We need them to come through. We are working on right now to get Congress and the IRS to give us back the great-granddaughter. Because if we don't have that, where are we going to be as an auxiliary member in 20 years? I'm 66 years old. I don't know what I'll be doing at 86. I hope still involved with the auxiliary, but we need to get the youth involved. We need to get those young veterans involved. So please go out and spread the word, get them to come join us. But thank you very much.
Well, I was going to reach out to somebody from the SAL to introduce Tim, but I think I'll probably get the same kind of response I got from Tammy, so I'll go ahead and do it. Tim Conway is a 41-year member of the Loudon Squadron 257 in Loudonville, Ohio. He earned his eligibility through his grandfather, Frank Conway, who served in the U.S. Navy during the First World War. Tim has held various positions within the Sons of the American Legion in the squadron, the 5th District, and on the state level. Tim has a 5th District SAL was the 5th District SAL commander for 5 years. Tim has also served as the Special Olympics chairman, Boys State chairman, and Americanism chairman for the Department of Ohio. Tim's project this year is Operation Comfort Warrior. Tim lives in Loudonville with his wife Becky. They have 2 daughters and 1 son who is currently an active member of the Ohio National Guard. They also have 7 grandchildren. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the Sons of the American Legion Detachment Commander, Tim Conway.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me tonight. First off, before I go anywhere with today, this young lady down here is my wife, Becky. She has been my rock. She has traveled with me all year long. When I got installed, I stood up there in the podium and I introduced my mother, my brothers and sister, my children, and you know who I forgot? They did not let me down. Those men and women out there let me hear it. So I have not forgotten since. Following that weekend, I got the privilege of going down and speaking at the Dayton National Cemetery. What an honor. And that place is unbelievable. It was Memorial Day weekend. We did that on Saturday. After that, I went to Poland for their Memorial Day parade. I got to spend that weekend with Jeff Vrabel Jr., our first vice commander, and past detachment commander Jeff Vrabel Sr. It was the last time I got to see that gentleman. He passed away 2 weeks later. I was at Boys State when I got the notification from Jeff that his dad passed away, and I tell you, it struck me hard. Speaking of Boys State and Girls State, I got to speak at both of those. I spent a whole week there every year down there, and I want to thank Post 181 and Auxiliary SAL for everything they do for Boys State and Girls State. It is one program that hopefully never dies. After that, 4th of July weekend, Becky and I went over and spent the weekend over at Mid-Ohio. We were with the Be the One program. I found out what the program actually means. Ladies and gentlemen, I was on Saturday, I was meeting people, greeting them, getting them to sign up for the Be the One program. A young man walks up to me. I shake his hand. I said, "Are you a veteran?" He says, "Yes, I am." I said, "Thank you for your service." He says, "What's Be the One?" I started to explain to him that we're trying to do away with veteran suicide completely. He lowered his head and he said, "I was there." And I thanked him that I got to talk to him that day because he did not do it. That's how close it is, and that's what it means to me. I talked to a young man that was that close. It is a great program that you veterans started, and I know you'll continue, and I know we will continue along with that. After that, I started going to a few district meetings, going out, seeing the state of Ohio. Then we got to go to Washington. We took the bus tour. Mr. Bernie Kessler set this bus tour up. What do we have, 3 or 4 buses? 4 buses, first time ever. They had to use more than 2 buses, I believe. We started out World War II. We went to that memorial. It was amazing. From there, we went to Vietnam. All inspiring. Then we walked over to the Korean. That place, that one, I'm sorry that my father-in-law fought in the Korean War. He was a POW in Korea. We were mesmerized by the memorial. After that, we got to go to the Arlington National Cemetery. We got to see the changing of the guards. That's also amazing. And then Bernie, somehow, he talked to the staff sergeant, and they took us all over, sat us down, and 3 of the guards came out and spoke to us for a half hour, 45 minutes, explained what they do, how they do it. Not very many people get to talk to them on a basis that we got to talk to them. I'll never forget that trip to Washington. Thank you, sir. Came back, we've done a few more district visits. I'm less than a month away from being a past detachment commander. I get to join Bernie in less than a month. They have told me, him along with all the others, enjoy this because it goes quick. He is right. It goes quick. It seems like yesterday I was installed in Findlay. In less than a month in Chillicothe, I get to turn it over to Jeff Rabel Jr., and I'm going to enjoy it immensely. Now, veterans, I want to thank you for what you have done for our country, for us. Spouses, family, thank you. A lot of times we don't get that thank you. If you didn't let your veteran go do what they did, we wouldn't be here either. You past commanders, past presidents, you guys do a wonderful job over here in Bucyrus. Post 181, Squadron 181, Unit 181. You guys work together from what I can see. You guys have a great American Legion family here. Keep it up. Thank you.
Okay, now we get to the more relaxed part of the evening where we can take the time and recognize a lot of the past commanders that have come before us and to present a few awards and presentations. Alan, here you are. You want to come up and read off the past commanders that are present from the post? And Tammy, would you like to come up to do the roll call of the auxiliary?
Charles Crispin, 1983. David Robertson, 1985. Dennis Tyner, 1991, 1993, and 2002. John Bud Topper, 1995 to 2004. Curtis Wright, 2000. Bill Cummings, 2012, 2013, 2018. Tony Michalak, 2019 to 2021. Ty Bowers, 2021 to 2024. And our past commander, Ken Long. Turn it over to Tammy.
You have them all down here? Oh, I've got it here. Don't forget, okay. Vicki Topper, 1995 to 1997. And 2004 to 2005. Vicki Topper again. Alice Tyner, 1998 to 2000. Alice Tyner again, 2001 to 2002. Alice Tyner again to 2005 to 2006. Alice Tyner. Beth Brandy Robertson, please stand up. 2008 to 2010. Darlene Bodnott, 2010 to 2018. Yeah. And of course, I'm the past commander. And that should be it, right?
I'm going to do Squadron 181 past commanders. Bernie Kessler. Kevin Tyner, 2012, 2013, 2015 to 2023.
Thank you all that have stepped up to, hold the position of commander and president of the organizations. Your leadership and your time in office is deeply appreciated. Thank you. Okay, at this time we'll invite Ken up to the podium. Tammy?
For the special presentations.
Well, you're the outgoing commander as well.
Okay, so we do. Oh.
Does anybody have the pins?
I'm not getting one. We're not doing pins, are we? They did me last year, I've already been done.
Denny, do we have the pin for Ken?
David does.
Oh, here we go.
They always put them in these easy opening bags, too.
Okay, here we go.
You've got nails, I don't.
Yeah, I do. Watch me draw. Well, this is pretty good. I know my husband has a knife on me. You were supposed to take care of this before you came up here. Dave has a knife. There we go. Don't cut yourself. I probably will. There we go. Ah, oh, there's a knife around.
Yeah, so.
He's too buff under there. Oh, do it like jump wings.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Congratulations. Now, would either of you like to make a few comments?
You go first.
This will be very short and sweet. I appreciate all the effort and all the help through the year, and I really appreciate being in the unit. Thank you.
Well, first of all, one of these times I'll have the microphone where I can, okay, there we go. All I want to say is that I've been the president for 3 years, but I would not be as good as we do for the auxiliary if it wasn't for all the people under. We work well together, Alice and Brandy, Sue, who should be president now, Penny. I mean, we all work very well together, and if it wasn't for us working well together, plus with the Sons and with the Legion, this wouldn't happen. It does. So I do appreciate everyone being here, and thank you very much.
All right, Alan, would you like to come to the podium and make a presentation to Past Commander Stennis?
The Post 181 here would like to make a check to, or present a check to Commander Stennis for his Sarah Harper Women's Veterans Project.
Thank you. Thank you. You know who I'm going to give this to? I'm going to give that to the Madam President to help her with the shed. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Commander Stennis, on behalf of Post 181, the officers and members, we'd like you to accept this as appreciation of you taking your time out of your busy schedule to come be with us.
This was nothing. Thank you. Thank you again.
My next?
Sure.
Have them open it up.
What?
Yeah, they want you to open it up. Go ahead and open it
No
up.
good, son. I mean, it's still ticking.
I'm good, thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right, please, come back around here. I'm going to think I'm going to need a knife.
Just rip the darn.
Charles, it's shoes for your wife.
I should have known.
You're gonna like it more than me.
Really? All right. All right. I will not. I will not. You get to keep it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can I get a picture with everyone here?
Well,
You too?
That's it.
Want to take a quick picture, please?
well, you don't need me.
Oh, yeah. There's got to be a rose between all the stars.
She has to be in the front.
All right. You guys got it?
Oh, really?
You
10.
hop in there too.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right, thank you again.
Are we next?
Sure.
Well, not to be outdone, but we like to outdo everybody, you know that. So our check's a little bigger. Louise, would you like to come up? No, you have to come up. You can't like it, you just have to. Louise Smirk. We did a patriotic show, and I'm glad to see Brandy up here. And we earned some money for her project, and it was a great show. We had a wonderful time. So we'd like to present this check for $5,000 for your project.
Wow.
As we say, my baby's the make and bake. The patriotic show is Brandy's baby. All of us have these babies. Everybody does. It's a wonderful thing. And don't leave. Did you want to make a speech? We'd like to present this to you from the auxiliary.
I want to just.
You can't just say you gotta share.
It is going to. I'm kind of speechless with that check. It's amazing. The check, and this is beautiful. That $5,000 will go a long way. So thank you so very much.
Okay, we have one more package up here, so guessing we have a representative from the SAL.
Commander Conway, on behalf of SAL Squadron 181, we have this gift for you tonight for coming.
Thank you. They did as good a job as the auxiliary. I'm trying to get a grip on it. Oh my God.
Wait a minute. My camera went dead. Wait a minute.
Always you, Renee.
I know, right? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is going to... Oh yeah, I got a wall.
Okay, now we have a kind of a special presentation to make. I'd like to start off by inviting Bucyrus Mayor Bruce Truca up just to kind of get the presentation started, and then if I could also get Denny Tyner, Dave Robertson, Ken Long, Alan, and Tony. As many of you know, we lost one of our officers this past year, our judge advocate, Doug Wilson, who has been a longtime member of the post. He's a past commander, He's also a former mayor of the city of Bucyrus, and he was also the custodian of the large flags that were always flown on the square. So going up to one of our district meetings, there was 4 of us in the car, and we kind of got talking about something we could maybe do in Doug's memory. And so we have drafted a resolution at the Post and took it to Bucyrus City Council to dedicate the flagpole on the square in Doug Wilson's memory. So I asked there was a group of us that went to the one of the committee meetings to first propose it, and that was the only thing that everybody agreed on the night. So it has passed committee and has gone up to the full council. So I asked the mayor to come by just to kind of give an update what all still needs to happen. And so.
Thanks to Post 181. It takes 3 different readings to get something passed as a non-emergency, and so right now at the next city council meeting it will be the 3rd reading, and that's when it will be passed and accepted and will be presented to the city of Bucyrus. And I thank you very much. I would like to share a little bit of experience with Doug oh, geez, Davey, I couldn't even think your name. Must be getting, because I'm getting older. Davey, he invited me to join the JCs years ago. He says it was a leadership class. And then Doug Wilson, he come into my life when I was in JCs and was very helpful to me in JCs, and he encouraged me to join him in his last 2 years as mayor of the Bucyrus City, Bucyrus. And so Doug was very kind, very gracious. He helped me get started in city council, and it was a very nice relationship that I got to learn to know Doug, and I appreciate it very much. And so I'm very honored to be able to be a part of Doug and part of the flagpole that's going to be dedicated to Bucyrus. So I thank you very much.
Okay, next we have a couple more things. So Doug, Sue, would you mind coming up here and joining us up on stage? While they're making their way up, I do want to share a little bit of a story about myself and Doug. As Davey kind of mentioned earlier, of Doug Jr.'s time in Little League, Doug and I played on the same Little League team. And my dad and his dad were the coaches of our Babe Ruth team as well. So, and then I even remember Doug showing up to coach one of our games in fatigues. He came right from the field straight to the ballpark and was standing on as a third base coach in uniform. But, and, you know, Doug was always, you know, planting the seed in my head. Hey, Ty, you ever think about joining the military? You know, joining the National Guard? I think you'd be really good at it. Like, nah, that's not for me, not for me. So I went to college and spent 4 years having a really good time. So, kind of, you know, to preface it, you know, I went to OU, so that kind of says it all. So by the time I finished my 4 years at OU, I was kind of looking around, what should I get into? And I was working for the Bucyrus City Schools, and I was out on a lawnmower, and the Marine Corps recruiter came over to talk to me. Well, next thing you know, I'm down in Paris Island and spent 4 years in the Marine Corps and then found my way to the Army National Guard. So Doug planted the seed long before I even gave it a thought. So one of the other things we wanted to do tonight is present to you a little crystal flame to the family of Doug Wilson on behalf of a grateful Post, community, and nation. Commander Mason, can you join us up here too, please?
Good evening. Talk about getting put on the spot. I would like to say, I'm sure everybody here knows me by now, but if you don't, if you know me, you know what I'm going to say. But if you don't, I am Bob Mason. I am your 5th District Commander. And sitting down here in the first table is your 5th District Assistant Commander and my wife, Teresa, of nearly 47 years. I told them that last year when I got elected commander that you don't know this, but because you elected me as your commander, you automatically elected her as your assistant commander. Because I couldn't get half of what I do for this district without her. But now to what's at hand. The American Legion Department of Ohio Red, White, and Blue Award presented to Doug Wilson for outstanding faith, understanding concerning the principles on which the United States of America was founded, and for communicating this spirit to our fellow citizens with your own personal patriotic examples. This 24th day of April 2025, signed by your district commander, myself, and by the district Americanism chairman, Cheryl McDonald.
We just made a plaque to go along with it. Thank you. Thanks so much. I can do that, or you can. This is probably a little more clear. Or I can do it. You want to ring the bell since it's your before? Yeah, just once. Okay, you want 3 more times. At this time, we're going to have our memorial service. We'd ask if you can stand for the remainder of the program. If you need to sit down, please do so. But can I have Dave Robertson, Tammy Tima Burke? Nope.
Sue Harley.
Oh.
Jacqueline.
Sue Harley? You have a list of them? Okay.
You go on. I've never been part of this. I don't know.
Okay, I have a list here of our members from Post 181 that have passed away since our last gathering. William Zellner, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Rick Garverick, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Norm Wynandy, U.S. Army, Korea. George Metzger, U.S. Army, Korea. William C. Williams, U.S. Army, Korea. Larry Wagner, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Robert O. Potter, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Russell Rawl, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Jerry Willoughby, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam. Howard Williams, U.S. Air Force, Korea. Douglas G. Schnabel, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Douglas E. Wilson, U.S. Army, Vietnam. James R. Russell, U.S. Army, Vietnam.
I'd like to say a little prayer. Almighty God, grant to us the grace to remember with love and reverence our dear departed members. Grant peace and eternal rest to those who have gone before us. We ask for consolation for those who sorrow, and that you may bestow upon us your everlasting blessing. We are thankful for the lives whom we have remembered here today. May their memory serve as an inspiration to us. Be with us and bless us, we pray. Amen. We had 2 members, Laura Cox and Carrie Robertson.
For the SAL, we had Bill O'Rourke and David Heller this year.
Thank you all for attending tonight. I will ask Brandy Robertson to come forward, and we will close out our night with singing God Bless America.
I can't sing. No. Okay, we'll start right here. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you again, everyone.
Please travel safely, join the